Welcome to the largest Hindu temple in Indonesia, the Prambanan Temple Compound. This temple, locally referred to as Loro Jonggrang Temple, is one of the many magnificent temples in the area. These temples are the remains of the powerful civilizations that lived on the Java island. Exactly when this beautiful temple compound was built is hard to say, as there is no formal written record of the construction of Prambanan. It is believed to have been built in the 9th century during ancient Java's great empire, the Mataram Sultanate. During this time, power of central Java shifted between families. The construction of Prambanan was probably built to mark the return of the Sanjay dynasty after almost a century of being controlled by the rival Sailendra. During this era, it was not uncommon for different dynasties to raise monuments and temples in their name, not only as a way to display their dominance, but also to fortify their religion in the area. This is the reason why there are so many temples in the area which date back to this period. As Prambanan is a Hindu temple, it hardly comes as a surprise that the Sanjays were Hindus. The Sailendra, however, were Buddhists, and the ones responsible for many of the Buddhist temples in the area, the most famous one being Borobudur. Many see Prambanan as Sanjay's response to Sailendra's mighty Borobudur. While both dynasties' main temples seem quite similar, there are some distinct differences between them. The difference between Prambanan and Borobudur is not only that they worship different religions, but there are also distinct architectural differences between the two. If you visit both temples, you will see that this one consists more of sharp sculpted towers in contrast to the vast horizontal bulk of Buddhist Borobudur. The new Sanjaya dynasty controlled the island for around 100 years, until the Isyana dynasty took over in the 10th century. They moved the court to East Java, for which reason is still unknown. This marked the beginning of the temple's decline, as it soon became abandoned and began to deteriorate. Disaster struck the temple in the mid-16th century, when a major earthquake caused many of the temples to collapse and left the area in ruins. Prambanan Temple was unknown to the world until the beginning of the 19th century, when a surveyor stumbled upon the temple by chance during Britain's short-lived rule of the Dutch East Indies. Even though a full survey of the ruin was commissioned, they remained neglected for decades. The British and the Dutch were looting the ruins and took sculptures as garden ornaments, while native villagers used foundation stones as construction material. The looting later ceased as restoration of the area began in 1918. The restoration team had a policy that at least 75% of the original masonry needed to be available in order to restore a temple. As much material was stolen and reused as remote construction sites, only the foundations of most of the smaller temples are now visible, with no plans for further reconstruction. Now that you know the history of the mighty temple, I'll give you some information about the temple buildings themselves. The three main temples are called Trimurti, the three forms. It is a Hindu concept which includes three gods: Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the keeper, and Shiva, the destroyer. The one you're standing in front of right now, the largest temple, is dedicated to Shiva. It consists of 5 chambers, 1 large and 4 smaller ones. Inside the large main chamber, you can find a large 3-meter statue depicting Shiva, and in the smaller chambers, statues of Hindu gods related to Shiva. In the northern chamber, you can find a statue of Durga, the slender virgin. She is one of the main characters in the folk tale, Loro Jonggrang, that has given the temple its local name. In the folktale, she refuses to become married, and as a penalty, she gets turned into stone. Now let's talk some more about the other temple buildings. The North Temple, to the right of the main area, is dedicated to Vishnu, the keeper. This temple consists of one main chamber which houses a statue of Vishnu. On the balustrades in the Vishnu temple, you can find series of magnificent bas-relief depicting Krishnayana, the story of Lord Krishna. Make sure you don't miss it. The South Temple is dedicated to Brahma, the creator, and is also made up of one large main chamber with a statue of Brahma. The bas-relief along the balustrades on the gallery around both Brahma and Shiva temples depict the Hindu legend of Ramayana. They illustrate how Sita, the wife of Rama, is abducted by Ravana, the monkey king. Hanuman brings his army to help Rama and rescue Sita. If you look around, you will see that in front of each of these three main temples stands a smaller shrine. These shrines are dedicated to the mounts of the respective gods. The bull, Nandi, for Shiva, the swan, Hamsa, for Brahma, and the eagle, Garuda, for Vishnu. In front of the temple dedicated to Shiva's mount, where you can see the statue of Nandi, the bull, you will also find a statue of Chandra, the god of moon, and Surya, the god of the sun, both standing in carriages drawn by horses. The other shrines probably also had a statue of their respective mount, but were most likely stolen during the Dutch occupancy. In the main temple area, you will also find some smaller shrines surrounding the main temple. The purposes of these shrines still remain unknown, but they were most likely places of worship for the Brahmins and their disciples. The temple compound consists of in total 237 temples, either big or small and in different conditions. Surrounding the main temple area are 224 small identical temples, though many of them lie in ruins. They are called Kandi Pervara, the guardian temples. Some believe that the temples represent the Mataram castle system, as the temples are arranged in 4 rows, and that each row was designated to be used by one of the castles only. Others believe that they were quite simply a place for meditation. Surrounding the whole temple compound is the outer zone, which is believed to have housed a park, living quarters, and other supportive buildings. As these buildings are believed to have been built in organic material, nothing is left of them today. One thing to keep an eye open for is the open-air theatre located just west of Prambanan Temple, across the small river. The theatre hosts ballet performances of the great Hindu legend of Ramayana during some parts of the year. This act, performed during full moon, set against an illuminated Prambanan, is quite spellbinding. The local travel agents and hotels usually know the times of any upcoming show. Be sure to check it out. Today, the Prambanan Temple compound is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it has become one of Indonesia's key tourist attractions and a major landmark in the area.